So I'm joined this week for another episode of Direct Edition by firstly Kasumi Kitano, welcome back to the show, and for all of the Aleks fans that have been missing Aleks, guess who's back? That's right, it's Aleks. Let's get on with it. This week sees the return of Zatanna. Issue 5 of her ongoing solo series hits the shelves this week.
This is a story of Zatanna, the magician. She's got a family feud going on with her cousin, who's also a magician. She's sort of the rivalry between those two. She's fighting demons, lots of scenes in hell.
It's a great book. It's well drawn, it's well written. As a character, Zatanna is kind of well fleshed out and doesn't feel like a cheesy character. Even though it's demons and hell and magic, they've managed to kind of avoid being a kind of straight rip-off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So there's a lot that's good about this book, and I think that mostly though, what's really kind of striking about it is that she's a strong kind of female character that you can get along with.
Yeah, and I mean, I like that her day job is her night job, that she's a magician on stage and she's a magician by night, and it kind of just adds to, she's not really hiding, where Superman is a reporter, Clark Kent, but really he's running around trying to save the world. So I like that it's out there and blatant with that.
Yep, so if you've got time, it's a book that we really enjoyed. Zatanna issue 5 hits the shelves this week.
Here we've got Highland, Laddie issue 2.
Now this is a spin-off of the Boys series, a series I really love. It's a very hardcore series, and what's interesting about this, it takes a lot of the kind of the theme and the flavour of the Boys, just puts it in a slightly different place. The Boys is set in America. This one is set in Scotland, and it's all about little Huey going home and visiting his friends, and while he takes a little break from the Boys and what's actually happening in his hometown, and a little bit of that sort of Huey backstory. And it's just, it's good fun. Some of the writing and some of the dialogue on this is just hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, every time I think Ennis can't top it, he always tops it. Every time I think I can't read any more of his stuff, like you said, with the gags in it.
Yeah.
We can't spoil anything, but there's 2 gags in it that had me laughing out loud. And it's nice having that backstory for Huey and his pals, which explains maybe more of what's happening to him in America as well, which is a good thing.
So how do you...
I love this one. I'm a big fan of retro comics, old comics too, and it reminded me of things like Modesty Blaze, done in the 60s.
Sure.
I think the animation style also looks kind of like that. It's simple, and a lot of people don't like that, but I actually did like it very much, and I felt like the story was almost in real time, so you really got behind these characters in their adventure, and you were one of the guys, and I love this one. Yeah.
So Highland Laddie issue number 2 hits the stands this week.
Living day to day without a prayer or a place to stay. You can put it on my culture, put it on my people, put it on Cookie Crew. We were raised this way. We fight, despite what the majors say. You can dumb down the music and make everybody dance, but you can't take the pain away. Especially with the night victims that never stood a chance. Plus people can't speak from the heart, worried that the truth might set them apart. Yes sir, free bags, full sir, anything you need, hurry up, just put me in the chart. There's got to be something more than just cheddar, please, something more than just cheddar.
Next up we have a spin-off of the Shadowlands saga. This is a Ghost Rider one-shot.
I've got to say, Ghost Rider is a character that they gave birth to in the 70s. I've loved him and hated him, and in this issue,
there's some really good scenes in this book. Essentially, Johnny Blaze is being manipulated by the Kingpin into taking on the Hand, and has to kind of cross the sea from New York to Japan. And there are just these great scenes of him riding the flaming Ghost Rider motorcycle across the sea, and then like loads of humongous Ghost Rider versus ninja battles. Just seriously,
and having a go at God as well.
Yeah,
he puts his 10 pence against God as well.
There is an awesome scene with the Ghost Rider on his bike on the back of a whale shouting at God, and it's worth the price of admission by itself.
Yeah, I think this comic is worth getting just for the art alone. If that were your only reason to get it, it's absolutely worth it. The scenes in the darkness with the pounding rain going across the ocean in Japan, the beautiful castles and the warriors, the fighting, it's absolutely beautifully done.
So one that we highly recommend. It's only a one-shot but worth checking out. Ghost Rider Shadowland one-shot.
Hellblazer issue 271, and who would believe our favourite Cockney demon crime fighter has found love? This whole issue deals with finding love, having a shave, and a little bit of football, but I won't ruin that for you.
He's a kind of a classic character. He's Vertigo's longest running series, and there's a reason why he's kind of survived as long as he has. It's just, there's a lot just about this acerbic Englishman who kind of dabbles in all these kind of demonic kind of worlds and these demonic types of characters and the sorts of scrapes that
only a Cockney could get out of. You know what I mean?
The sort of scrapes he gets
Give that
into.
demon a slap.
You know what I mean? And the sorts of things he has to deal with. I just think it's very cool, and it's got a real kind of sense of humour.
Definitely.
I like the dark romance. That was it. It was just so dark, and he's desperately trying to get this woman, and you would get totally swept up in this storyline. And there's a lot of horrible jiggery pokery magic stuff as well that's a bit yucky in there, that's worth looking at for.
Just what's really interesting is that the kind of subject of his affections, Epiphany, is you get the impression that she's every inch his equal. She can kind of stand toe to toe with John Constantine, which is very, very cool.
You can imagine the domestics, can't you? Once they're married, you haven't changed these bed sheets. I'm not doing it. Leave it out.
I'm not sure about the back of the hand, but everything apart from that, very, very cool indeed. Check it out. Hellblazer out this week. New Mutants 17, look out for great art by Leonard Kirk on this one.
Green Lantern Emerald Warriors, issue 2. Green Lanterns get mad.
Steve Rogers, Super Soldier, issue 3 of 4, enough said.
The Amazing Spider-Man 643, Spider-Man chasing across New York with a newborn baby, followed by classic Spider villains. Top stuff.
Shadowland, Power Man, issue 2 of 4, Spanish Harlem, Luke Cage, Ruckus, it's all in here.
Marvel Universe versus the Punisher, issue 4.
This mini-series gets wrapped up with the Punisher being completely and utterly heartless. Awesome.
Shadowland, Thunderbolts, issue 148, Thunderbolts versus Ninjas, good shit.
Here we have X-23, issue 1.
Now this is a new series following she's a clone of Wolverine is the best way to describe it. She was kind of nurtured by the whole kind of Weapon X program, and she's now kind of with the X-Men trying to recover her humanity, as she's been, since she was born, trained to be a martial arts assassin and used as a weapon. What was cool about this book is that there's a real kind of emotional story going on, and it kind of gives you a different perspective on certain X characters that so like Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops, Emma Frost.
Thing is, she was made to have no humanity within her, and yet this story and the previous stories, I think, have slowly linking her into finding herself, that she is more than this killing machine, and she's just a little girl, and it's this battle of what she's seen and become and what she wants to be, and it's one of the most heartfelt issues I've ever read.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. I think that's one of the strongest parts of this comic. They explore the whole morality of the whole mutant, issue, and this character it's so poignant, and you warm to her immediately. As soon as you start reading it, you're just utterly involved with everything she goes through.
Alright, so make sure you check it out. It's a book that we really loved this week. X-23, issue number 1, out now. So that's pretty much your lot for this week. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks again to Kasumi for being here, and to Alex, of course. We'll be back next week with more new comics, more new music. In the meantime, make sure you check out our friends at Comicana. Give them a bell, send them an email, and they will send you your very own Comicana discount card worth an awesome 10% off all your comic book purchases. We'll see you next time on Direct Edition. Peace. Say peace, everybody.
Peace.